Skywind, Caryarel, Helionaby Caverns, that's what they call the old sea cave up on the north end of the island, right on Cartag Point. Don't poke around in there. Thank the gods for farthing or rain. Long will we tell of his heroic conquests. He arrived here only a day ago with his servants to help rid us of some marauding netches. Oh, that one. She's got a bounty on her head, I believe. Although no one would bother to collect on it, she's a slippery one. Oh, I heard she met an untimely end, whilst on one of her trade excursions. Some trader, all she ever sold was low quality and poorly enchanted. Thankfully, those breeding netch have been taken care of. Everyone seems a bit better now. Everyone's worried about those two breeding netch that have been attacking. We Altmer are proud, wise and beautiful. The empire is built on the arts, crafts and science of the High Elves. If you're a house father, retainer or kin, get your services at Arenin Manor. The Kimono Tongue is Morrowind's native criminal syndicate. I'm so glad you killed them. Yes, that's on the western coast, not far from here. It's a gigantic boulder. Some of the orcs consider it a landmark. Why? I don't know. There's a price on her head, though. I don't know how much. People don't take kindly to being sold shoddy goods. The Thieves Guild have public halls. The Thieves Guild don't have public guild halls. The Thieves Guild don't have public guild halls, but they do tend to gather at a single location, usually a corner club or trade house in larger towns. The Thieves Guild is just like any other trade guild, an organisation of craftsmen and professionals. In the first stage, the prophet Veloth led the ancestors of the Dummer from Somerset Isles to the region of Morrowind. If you do the crime, pay the fine. Don't do the time. I do a little of this, a little of that. I'm a thief. I was born to be a thief. I live to sneak around in rich people's houses and liberate their possessions. Don't be poking your nose in there. Someone might object. It's a convenient smuggler's hole, and they might not welcome visitors. Even now he has gone to the south of town, making the area safe once again for our fishermen. Often dealt in shoddy goods. Great promise, but their reward, you know? Only a real scuttlehead would deal with that thief. Our pure blood protects us from disease and makes us superior spellcrafters. If you're guild, then you want Wadarku, Balan, or Hinald at the Dregokin, and you might not. If you're guild, then you want Wadarku, Balan, or Hinald at the Dregjig, and you might not. We drove them off, but I'm sure they'll be back unless someone does something. Some orc or another jumped off on a dare. It didn't end well. Look for guild operatives in Balmora, Aldroon, Sedrith Mora, and the foreign quarter of Vivek. The Arenums are the local Hlalu lords. Nadine Rotheron's place is where the Kimono Tongue people hang out. You stay away from there. And apart from a bunch of fishermen's shacks, that's all there is to Narmark. Oh, Nadine Rotheron's place is Kimono Tongue country. You might think a little hard labour isn't a bad price to pay, but whilst you're breaking rocks for the Empire, you lose the edge in your useful skills, and it takes a long time to get back to where you were before. I enjoy puzzling out the security provisions on doors and chests, thrilling to the challenge and suspense of picking locks and disarming traps. Helionaby Cavern, that's what they call the old sea cave up on the north end of the island, right on Hartag Point. Don't poke around in there. Thank the gods for farthing or rain. Long will we tell of his heroic conquests. He arrived here only a day ago with his servants to help rid us of some marauding netches. Oh, that one. She's got a bounty on her head, I believe, although no one would bother trying to collect on it. She's a slippery one. Oh, I heard she met an untimely end whilst on one of her trade excursions. Some trader, all she ever did was low quality and poorly enchanted. Thankfully, those breeding netch have been taken care of. Everyone seems to be better now. Everyone's worried about those two breeding netch that have been attacking. We Altmer are proud, wise, and beautiful. The empire is built on the arts, crafts, and sciences of the High Elves. If your house Halalu, retainer or kin, get your services at Arenim Manor. The Kimona Tongue is Morrowind's native criminal syndicate. I'm so glad you killed them. You're the one who killed them? Natural valuable, but they're too dangerous to let them roam free. Thank you. That's right, there's a pair of them that wander about north of here. They've come near the town a few times. Oh, Wardris Orain Bearclaw, and how his legacy lives on in Farven Orain. Yes, that's on the western coast, not far from here. It's a gigantic boulder, some of the orcs consider it a landmark. Why, I don't know. There's a price on her head, though I don't know how much. People don't take too kindly to being sold shoddy goods. The Thieves Guild doesn't have public guild halls, but they do tend to gather at a single location, usually a corner club or trade house in larger towns. The Thieves Guild is just like any other trade guild, an organization of craftsmen and professionals. In the first stage, the Prophet Veloth are the ancestors of the Dunmer from Somerset Isles to the region of Morrowind. If you do the crime, pay the fine. Don't do the time. I do a little of this, a little of that. I'm a thief. I was born to be a thief. I love to sneak around in rich people's houses and liberate their possession. Don't be poking your nose in there, someone might object. It's a convenient smuggler's hall, and they might not welcome visitors. Even now he's gone to the south of town, making the area safe again for our fishermen. Often deals in shoddy items, great promise, but low reward, you know? Only a real scuttlehead would deal with that thief. Our pure blood protects us from disease and makes us superior spellcrafters. If you're guild, then you want Madaku, Balan, or Henald of the Dregjigu, and you might not. We drove them off, but I'm sure they'll be back, else someone does something. Some orc or another jumped off on a dare. It didn't end well. Look for guild operatives in Balmora, Aldrune, Cedrith Mora, and the foreign quarter of Vivek. Your enemies are the local Thalu lords. Nadine Rotheron's place is where the Kimona Tongue people hang out. You stay away from there. And apart from a bunch of fishermen's shacks, that's all there is to Gnarmark. Oh, Nadine Rotheron's place is Kimona Tongue country. You might think a little hard labour isn't a bad price to pay, but whilst you're breaking rocks for the Empire, you lose the edge in your useful skills, and it takes a long time to get back to where you were before. I enjoy puzzling out the security provisions on doors and chests, thrilling to the challenge and suspense of picking locks and disarming traps.